the WFNY BrownsCast. We're
After
part
dark.
of After Dark, yes, very After Dark. Post-game show, Browns beat the Steelers on Thursday Night Football 29-17. I'm Joe Gilbert. This is Taylor Jezrerzak. We're part of the Evergreen Podcast Network, and we are also sponsored by our great sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in your problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life. But when you learn how to find your solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/WFNY to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com, WFNY. And that's BetterHelp. So yeah, it was a great game. Just got back to the game and good atmosphere. And what's your initial thoughts on the win there, Taylor?
Well, I spent about 2.5 quarters being real frustrated.
Yeah.
Because, once again, the offense, which was not supposed to be the strength of the team at this point in the season, came out and basically just went up and down the field in the first half. They didn't get a ton of possessions because both teams were going up and down the field, and that's kind of the issue. The defense, once again, was just not getting off the field. It wasn't even not getting off the field on third down. It was just not getting off the field. And they gave up. They allowed the Steelers to double their season touchdown total in the first half.
Right.
So, there was a lot of, I think, frustration and anxiety at halftime, and the defense, whether it was them, I mean, it was probably a combination of both, between them making the right adjustments to take away what the Steelers were doing, and the Steelers offense remembering that they are actually just garbage. So
yeah, that's very true.
It was a good stretch in the third and fourth quarter. They forced punts on the first 4 possessions. 3 of those are 3 and outs. And I think they went away from the more man-based defense that they had played up until that point in the second half for the Steelers' lone scoring drive. I think they were just that whole possession was, we are not committing a massive breakdown. Everyone's going to stay back.
Right.
We're going to keep things in front of us. So they picked up 63 yards that way, and I don't think they do that otherwise. So, it's nice to get the win. There's definitely some things that you want to see improvement on. I think the calls for Joe Woods' head are probably going to be a little quieter this week, in the next 10 days. Mike Prefer might be another situation entirely, but it was, you did what you needed to do, and you beat a team you're supposed to beat. And I think of all the keys to victory that we had on Tuesday, they followed through on all of them. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't beat themselves.
Yep. Basically, yeah. I definitely agree with you on that. I thought the same thing on that final drive. They really looked like they did not want to get beat deep. They were playing so soft, and
no,
just
you guys can have 20-yard chunks. We're not going to give up a goal.
Right. Yeah, basically. Just looking at them, it seemed like the communication was a little bit better. Just kind of, I saw a lot more pointing at where you're supposed to kind of go, like before the play rather than after, which was a nice sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first half was rough. Denzel Ward was picked on a lot, which was surprising, and he did not play well in the first half.
I don't think he's very comfortable playing zone, and the Browns defense seemed to have him in zone a ton.
Yeah, because it was the a couple plays that he made a play was when he was in man coverage, when he was playing on those deep routes. So it's
Yeah.
super weird that you're always, as a coach, you're supposed to put your players in the best position to what they're good at, and I just, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if that's happening on this one.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
I
hopefully that second half might have been kind of a wake up call. Like, hey,
yeah,
we probably should do this a little more often. Make it
right,
uncomfortable for receivers, and they won't be running wide ass open down the field 25 yards.
right, yeah, like something, yeah, something has to change there. So hopefully that is a good sign. Yeah, it also wasn't helpful that the two starting linebackers were out for the game. It looks like Anthony
Yeah.
Walker might be done for the year. And
I
then
haven't seen anything the last little bit.
but
I know that
anytime
they said,
anytime you're in an air cast, never a good sign.
yeah,
So yeah, and I don't know about JOK, but yeah, that was not a helpful thing either. So
no, because they're not super deep at that position yet because they're just starting to get guys that they want there.
right,
Um,
Tony
I
Fields
will
came in.
say, after having a really rough game in coverage last week, Jacob Phillips really responded well tonight.
He did.
He was getting pretty much toasted last week by the Jets,
Yeah,
and he responded well tonight.
yeah, yeah, and
And they
they're
might
gonna,
see a lot more of him going forward.
yeah,
So
they're gonna need him. He's probably gonna be in the. It just based on getting carted off with an air cast, I'm assuming bad things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Phillips kind of steps in for Anthony Walker, because Walker kind of seemed like the veteran leader of that team, of the middle linebackers actually. So it'll be interesting to see how Phillips kind of subs in there.
if
And
there's any small solace we can take, it's that there'll only be one green dot on the field.
right, that is true, very true. Yeah, it's overall it doesn't really, like, it's not going to make me feel better, actually. Like, this performance, like, doesn't really make me feel better. It's the Steelers. They should have dominated them. They
Yeah,
did.
I mean
They
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 showed what they were
didn't.
supposed to do in the second half, and
Right.
they did what they needed to when they needed to do it. It'd have been nice if they had not like let the
It-
Steelers have some belief in the first half,
right.
um,
Yeah.
because I mean,
They just seemed more aggressive in the second half. Like, they were blitzing, I thought, more, and it's just weird that, like, the two halves were, like, completely different. So hopefully that's a sign of improvement. But yeah, I'm not going to take anything away. We've seen, how many times have we seen this? We talked about in the preview pod that
taking advantage of bad teams.
right, they're Jekyll and Hyde. They'll be really good, and then next game, watch, they'll go back to what they did last week. So I
Yeah,
really can't take anything. You got to show it for multiple games now. But it's
yeah,
at least a good step in in the right direction in the second half.
yeah. They got one more game to kind of get their head screwed on before Justin Herbert comes to town.
Oh God.
So
Oh boy.
so the the preseason that is actually in the season is about to be over for the defense, and they need to
Yeah.
be on their same page by the time they face like a real functioning NFL offense.
Yeah. Oh God. Justin Herbert's gonna give us nightmares. But yeah, so I thought the defense was bad in the first half and then a lot better in the second. Offensively, that they were impressive again. This
Yeah,
is I tweeted during the game, like, it's it's crazy what a quarterback that can actually run this a Stefanski offense, how fun the offense can be. Like, it is night and day from last year.
yeah,
They're just completing the layups. Like, he's not making hard passes.
yeah. Brissett is taking what the defenses are giving
Yeah,
him, whether it's little 5 yard comeback routes or slants or anything that's there. He
yeah,
takes it and they move on and they stay ahead of or in line with the chains, and they're able to keep drives going. I mean, they had let's see, their touchdown drives in the first half were 7 and 12 plays.
Mhm.
They had a 14-play field goal drive and an 11-play touchdown drive in the second half.
Yeah,
So they're not relying on big plays. I
yeah,
think that 11-play touchdown drive in the second half, the only pass play was that super ballsy PA rollout to Cooper
yeah. I like that one.
on 3rd and 1.
And that's how we're gonna have big plays in the passing game. We're gonna have these play action passes where it's kind of one guy option, and
Yeah,
uh, and you hit it. That was a great play call and great execution. And Jacoby Brissett has just been so impressive in the last 2 games. He's
yeah.
he's greatly overexceeded my expectations. I didn't think he could perform at this level. His throws are really strong and accurate and almost all
He
the
threw
time.
one too hard for
Right.
Amari
Yeah.
Cooper tonight.
Yeah. Who thought that was going to happen? It's
I'm
just
not even
yeah,
sure Jacoby Brissett thought that was going to happen.
right. It's just nice that he just seems like he's calm in the pocket. He's not escaping every time there's one person almost getting free, which is a huge difference. He's just night and day better than what Baker showed last year, and it shows how important it is to actually have a quarterback that can run your offense.
Yeah, he's very much a quarterback that plays, I think, the way Stefanski wants a quarterback to
Hmm.
play. I think he almost would rather have a quarterback that is more molded to his personality.
Hmm.
And that's not saying, I mean, him and Baker had their differences, but on the field, Baker plays when he gets really sped up at times, and
Yeah,
sometimes you just need to be able to take things into account and find the open guy. There's usually an open guy,
yeah,
and Brissett even makes good decisions on when to just fall down and take a sack.
yeah.
Like there was the 3rd down near midfield in the second half. He just kind of fell down, took a sack,
Right.
rather than forcing it into a situation where it didn't need to be and
Exactly.
creating a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's so true. Yeah,
I
we're not seeing the stupid, just numbskull interceptions or
yeah, they
yeah,
didn't give Minka Fitzpatrick a chance to change the game tonight,
right.
and
Yeah,
he still cannot tackle Nick Chubb.
it still cannot. Hey, that's something you'll never be able to do. I think.
As I put in the Discord, Nick Chubb running down the field might as well just be sentient cinder blocks when defensive backs come up to him. Like
Basically,
they just bounce off of him.
real. There was that one. I think it was in the fourth quarter. He literally got he just bounced off the guy like a pinball, and he
Yeah,
kind of shot out of there.
yeah,
Yeah, he's so impressive, and the run game was once again really good.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, going 38 for 171 against the Steelers has got to be.
yeah,
I'd imagine that's up there for performances from a Browns running back or Browns rushing game against the Steelers since they came back.
got to. Yeah, you
I
would
I,
think.
I can't imagine there's been very many games with more. I think they in the pregame radio show they were talking about Brown Steelers memories, and one of them was the 31-10 game or 21-10 game that they had a few years back.
Yeah.
Um, and apparently both Ben Tate and Isaiah Crowell, which are interesting names to hear, ran for like 75 yards, and
Oh, Ben
that I mean
Tate.
that's at least 150. So, um,
Oh,
but the Browns did what they needed to, and Jacoby Brissett, who last week we said if he has another game like he did against the Jets, we'd be kind of surprised because we thought that was about the peak of it.
and he
And
got another one.
I think he had another one. I don't.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say it was any better because they still. I mean, whether win or loss, I don't know. But I think I heard a stat from PFF this week that he would have been the highest graded offensive player last week if not for that interception.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
like,
just
it's amazing what this offense can look like with a quarterback that just doesn't screw it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with a receiver that can actually get himself open.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's that I have to say, Amari Cooper is the best receiver they've had in quite some time, and that's including Odell Beckham. We never saw the Odell Beckham that was in New York because Amari is he's open. He gets open constantly. His route running is just unbelievable. He usually is sure-handed. Today he was kind of off on that, but
yeah, I'm not going to blame him for the drop that almost blew his shoulder off. But
right.
the one on fourth down, that was on him.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's nice having just a guy you can kind of rely on. And besides him, I thought David Nijoku had a really great game. One of his
thought it
best
might have been his
passing
best
games.
ever.
Right.
And 9 for 89 and 1. Like, aside from having one like deep shot touchdown or play that goes for a long, I can't remember him having more yards. I can actually look this up.
It might have been his rookie year. I know he had a big game. I can't remember how much it was though. He had a great game, and they needed it because he was his security blanket in the middle of the field. Brissett kind of trusted him to make the catches down the middle, and he did.
Tonight was his second highest total.
Was it the Raiders game in the rookie year?
No, it was actually the Chargers game last year.
Oh, okay.
I think he had a long touchdown on like a breakdown.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
71-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He went, what was it? I just had it and now it's gone.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
7 for 149, and today slots in at second because his next highest was 76 yards.
Wow. So yeah, he was very good. He caught all the passes, and
and after all the there was the starting to be the talk of we're paying him too much money to be a blocking tight end, and he goes out there and leads the team in receptions, and makes a nice touchdown catch. And 2 years ago, he probably drops that.
Yeah.
So
that's all.
He's come a long way since requesting a trade.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. This is basically like a kind of a blueprint of what we want from him. Block really well, and then make the underneath catches, and then be a red zone target.
I mean, this was. Yeah, I mean, I can't really put it any better. Like, this is exactly what you want out of David Njoku. Like, don't do more than you need to. You don't need to be streaking up the field.
No, you don't have to be Jason Kelsey or whatever.
No, you just have to catch the underneath routes and break a couple tackles.
Yeah,
because linebackers aren't going to be able to. They're not going to be able to cover you closely because they're going to respect your ability to get down the field. And safeties don't have the ability to tackle you right away. So, and he was sure-handed tonight, which has been one of his detractions in his early career.
Yeah.
So
it's just amazing his kind of turnaround in his career. He came in as just a highly decorated guy. He had a really good rookie season. Then it was kind of a downfall. Wanted to get a trade out of here, and then kind of just turned it around, and now he's back to being number one tight end and one of the best blockers in the league as a tight end. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he and Cooper combined 16 for 190 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
when you're struggling to have a second receiver, that's a good guy to.
Yeah, but it's not like the rest of the receivers were like lost.
Right.
Peoples-Jones had a first down catch. He was targeted 3 times. David Bell had his first catch. I'm pretty sure it was his first catch. I don't remember him.
I think he had one last week, but yeah, it's one of a few. And the running backs are also getting catches too. So
To say I
Yeah,
have more faith in the offense right now than I did in the defense after 3 games. I'm not sure that there's anyone that watches the Browns regularly and knows anything about them would have said that coming into the season.
seriously, yeah. No, that was the
But
question. The offense was the question mark, and now it's just completely turned on its head, and the
and they're
defense is
averaging 28 and a half points a game.
right.
Like,
Yeah, I think they're rated like seventh in the league in offense, so at least coming into
yeah,
the game, and gotta be even better now. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's just how nice it is to have a competent quarterback that can run an offense.
yeah. I mean, we're not going to truly know what we have in him until he's really put to the grinder when we play
Yeah.
uh, Los Angeles in 2 weeks, and I think after that is the Ravens. I think.
hmm
I don't know. Um, but
Patriots too. They have a better
I,
defense a little bit.
I'm not even sure that the Patriots are a real team.
Right. Sure.
Um, yeah, Chargers, Patriots, Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that. Given the Chargers, kind of, they're beat up right now. The Patriots look about as good as the Steelers do. um, I don't know what the Ravens did last week, and I don't know what the Bengals are going to do anyway. So,
Yeah.
like,
They
these
can't.
aren't completely unwinnable games.
Yeah.
If the offense is playing well, they need the defense to figure it out.
Yeah. They do.
And they have 10 days now
Get
to
healthy.
yeah. I mean, they during the game they said they even lost Taven Bryant. Like, so you're way limited now.
Yeah.
If you're still talking to Ndamukong Suh, you might need to talk to Ndamukong Suh a little more.
Right.
Especially because it seems like running up the middle they are struggling.
hmm
I don't know how much an aging Ndamukong Suh is really going to help that, but it probably can't hurt it.
Right. It was kind of, you could tell they were missing Jadeveon Clowney because I thought they got gashed on the edges too.
Yeah,
Usually because he's such a strong run defender, and they had a few big runs on the edges, and it kind of shows how much importance he is to not only the pass rush but the run defense. And
yeah. I gotta wonder if he's going to be good for the next game.
he's
They're
got
not really
got
they're
a
not
week
really
and a
talking
half.
like he's gonna. They're not really talking like he was going to miss a whole lot of time, and that he might have been able to go Sunday if the game was on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's got 10 days. They got a lot of hurt bodies.
That's the
JOK
nice
with a
thing.
soft
That's
tissue injury scares me a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah. It's the nice thing about Thursday. You kind of have a kind of mini bye week, so hopefully they can get a little bit healthy.
yeah,
Um, yeah, they need it.
you know,
But
for as like bruising as he was for portions of the game, the Steelers only gave the ball to Najee Harris 15 times,
right, I thought that was
which
weird. Yeah,
yeah, he was 15 for 56. So like not amazing, but not bad.
yeah,
A little over 4 yards of carry.
and it wasn't like they were behind the whole game. They were
No, they were actually leading
closer.
most of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
So
was super odd too. They kind of
yeah,
their offensive. I don't think Matt Canada is very good at his job.
he might not be it, Chief.
No, no. He's because they were just they would have things work, and then they would just have Mitch Trubisky do some weird stuff that like he shouldn't be doing. It's
They
just
also they also really got away from what was working in the first half, where they were doing a lot of. They were really successful getting Trubisky out on the edges and doing some misdirection stuff and getting him wide
true.
open lanes to throw and putting the Browns defense in bad positions, especially without the ability to have Clowney keep contained.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't hear very much at all from the other defensive ends, so I can't imagine they're going to grade very highly. Uh,
Yeah.
Alex Wright had 2 tackles. Isaac Rochelle had, or Isaiah Rochelle had 4 tackles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like they were,
it was basically Myles Garrett.
yeah.
Getting triple teamed, I think.
Well, yeah, Myles Garrett, because Clowney wasn't there, they had the ability to say we're going to put. I mean,
everybody.
they basically wasted Pat Freiermuth. He had one catch; it was really good catch, but
Yeah,
they wasted him just double
exactly.
teaming Myles Garrett.
Right. Yeah.
Like they didn't have a tight end the whole game because they were double teaming Myles Garrett with him in the tackle, and most of the time the guard was there too. Like
Right.
there was plays where it looked like he was being assaulted.
Right. Yeah, they would put like the tight end actually on him, and then the kind of the tackle would be the backup. It was
Yeah,
it was crazy to see, but it just shows you how you need somebody else to kind of step up, because teams are going to do that and take advantage of no one else being able to do that. It's a lot to put on Alex Wright as a rookie. Um,
I mean, I know that they like him. I don't think he's ready for that role.
yeah, yeah. I think they wish that Winovich could have been the more experienced guy, but he's hurt and hasn't really performed up to what they're probably hoping for. So
I'm not even sure he's real.
right, I know, right? Yeah, it's yeah. They hopefully can get him back, Clowney back, but they'll need him because it was definitely showed up on there that they were missing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the Falcons are going to be much of a how good is Jacoby Brissett actually test.
Right.
The Falcons are still kind of falcony. The Chargers might not even be a good test of that because their defense is still kind of like lost in the sauce some plays.
Right.
I don't think we'll truly know where Brissett is until they play the Patriots and they have Belichick's scheme against him.
True. Good point.
But I don't know how good that team actually is. I guess we'll find out over the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The play, obviously you want the defense to be healthy all the time, but if you had a choice, you want them to be healthy for Los Angeles, and then you definitely want the linebackers to be healthy for Baltimore on the 23rd.
Yes. Especially JOK.
Yeah, because JOK was pretty much he was the one who shut the Ravens down in the game in Baltimore last year.
Yeah. He's important to stopping Lamar too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Kind of moving on to the special teams. I thought it was good and bad at times.
It was functional. The guy
right.
caught punts. He caught punts.
I know. Like I didn't have a heart attack either.
Yeah.
Like he caught it and like didn't have a heart attack.
Yeah, although the one time he caught the ball and immediately spun, I wanted to have a heart attack. Jerome Ford made a bad choice coming out of the end zone once.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that most people are going to take away was one, the hands team still sucks, and
oh my god, I know.
Two, I think did they have 12 men on the field twice? The special teams?
I think so. Yes. Yeah, it was on the field goal.
Like,
yeah, I think so.
Like, you could do it once and write it off as players not knowing things, but like twice, and you're wondering what the coach is actually doing during the week.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the hands team can be so bad. Like the probability of recovering an onside kick in the NFL is so freaking low.
They picked on the other side this time, so it wasn't even the same side. It was the Peoples-Jones side.
Yeah,
it was like, oh my god!
And luckily he was able to like. I mean, they were bailed out by the fact that Peoples-Jones was able to knock it out of bounds, and they were offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Right.
But can we just have no one else? I feel like no one else in the league has this problem with onside kicks.
No, it wasn't it shouldn't be a problem. Like the league has made it pretty impossible to get onside kicks because they've eliminated the people you can't have a running start. You can't load up on one side. Like, it shouldn't be this hard. Like, it's just catch the damn ball. But yeah, so that was ugly. But I thought at least I thought the punter was good. Corey, I'm not
Bojorquez.
Yes, Bojorquez.
It's amazing what it's like having an actual professional punter do kicking things.
He had two big ones. Especially
he had
the
one really big one that I think just got hung up in the wind and went like 80 yards.
Yeah. It was that was. It's just nice having a guy that kind of he had a multiple inside the 10 and 15 yards. So
he had one down at the 5 and one down at the 4.
Yeah. Especially the last one was huge too. Not giving them like easy yardage to make that weird kind of toss it around. Hope someone falls down situation.
Yeah, I would say Cade York had a good game. Yes, he missed another extra point, but I think it's good that he got this experience of it really is kind of shitty to kick here.
I think
early in the season.
And I think that end zone was really bad too, because what's his name kicked in. That ball just died and moved to the right. Like it's that was a
I loved that the broadcast mentioned the Dawson flag.
Yeah. I hope he knows about that flag.
If he doesn't, he does now. He made a field goal, made 2 of his 3 extra points. It was a good game. It's a learning experience kicking in that building.
Right. Pretty much, yeah. It was kind of nice actually having this early kind of season, because usually this happens late in the season when you really can't afford these things. So it's kind of nice having this kind of initial test for him with the wind.
Yeah. It really is kind of rare to get a 25-mile-an-hour wind game in September.
Yeah, because it wasn't cold. Like,
no,
overall,
it was just like windy for no reason.
Right.
Like, that wasn't in the forecast until yesterday.
Right.
After we had talked about, we don't think the weather is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
And then I saw the next morning that they were forecasting 20-mile-an-hour winds during the game. I'm like, what the hell happened up in Lake Erie?
Never know what's going to come off of that lake. That's why it never makes sense that they build a stadium on that thing. But whatever.
Unfortunately, I think they're out of space to put it anywhere else now if they want to keep it downtown.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it was for a lot of reasons, it was a really good game for them. It was a good kind of get your mojo back kind of game, but the defense took an extra half to get their mojo back, and I think that's, if there's going to be any negative takeaways from this game, it's going to be that it took a half of letting Mitchell Trubisky run up and down the field on you for however, like, they had 186 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that was a bad half.
Or maybe more. It was rough.
Yeah, they made it easy on Mitch. Like, he got out in space, as you were saying. He got out in space and had clear throwing lanes, clear guys to kind of get opened. Yeah,
and the Browns weren't doing anything to get to like rush him.
Yeah.
At that point, they don't typically blitz, but they weren't blitzing. The one time they did blitz in the first half, Jacob Phillips ended up on his head.
Literally flipped over.
But in the second half, they didn't really do a great job of getting pressure on him either. I just think the Steelers mysteriously went away from what worked in the first half. Maybe it's because they saw man defense and they realized that doing that kind of stuff wouldn't have worked against man defense. But I don't know. I think that the Steelers are at least 1/3 culpable for their own downfall in the second half on offense.
Yeah.
The defense stepped up and
they
did some good things, but I think the Steelers offense helped them helped nudge them along
Right, they
into
did.
some
They definitely
confidence
did.
boosting.
Right, yeah,
So
and Mitch Trubisky also helped in that endeavor, because he was
yeah,
pretty bad in the second half. But yeah,
yeah,
it's a win and 2-1. Hope should have been 3-0, but hey, got to take a win here.
yeah. I mean, hopefully you can look back at that later in the season and be somewhat like, we could be this, and we could have one more win, but we screwed it up. But now I think that might have ended up helping in the
Yeah,
long run. But we don't know if that's going to help in the long run now. We have to let the short term play out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. So, any final thoughts? It's kind of
Can the Browns recover a fumble when it matters?
seriously. I actually they just showed it on SportsCenter. The guy fumbled again, and they still could not recover it.
I
It's
I
just
think
a
at the I think at that point to this at that point when I don't even know his name. What was his name? Warren fumbled.
yeah,
Um, that was the seventh opposing fumble against the Browns this season.
yeah.
None of which have been recovered by the Browns.
None of them. That
Some
one
of those
there.
are fumbled snaps, so I don't know if it
Yeah.
necessarily fully counts. And one of those turned into a 30-yard gain. But
Like that one was like really bad because there's like three Browns guys over there, and then just like one other Pittsburgh guy, and it somehow
who
just
happened to
bounced.
be looking right at it, which
Right,
is
it just
not
happened to
common.
bounce exactly to him. It was.
Yeah,
I know. I thought the same thing when because we
yeah.
talked about it in the preview. Like it's just such a the luck is just
It's bizarre.
incredible.
Like at some point, at someone in the I don't remember which Discord I'm in, like three, but someone was like, "Oh yeah, it's coaching that they can't jump on a fumble." I'm like, "There's been seven, and none of them have been recovered.
Yeah, I
That's
think
not
it's
that's
luck.
not coaching. That's bad luck."
That's bad luck. Yeah, I thought that when that happened, I was thinking of that of you saying that. I was like, God, I can't believe it's another one. Yeah,
So now it's
this
eight
defense
fumbles
still can't.
against.
Right.
Yeah, eight fumbles against and one recovered, and it was a touchdown and whatever. But it'll win someone a fantasy game, and it lost Pat McAfee like $9,000. But
The
um,
the weird thing with this team is like they're not turning it over on offensive, but they're not getting people to turn it over on defense. It's a very odd team we have. It's
yeah, I
I
I think the turnovers will come. I mean, you've forced I think five fumbles to this point that you
yeah,
could actually jump on.
true.
Uh, you've recovered one of them. It was in the end zone. So like if you're forcing fumbles, you're gonna get it. Um,
The bad thing is like there's no near interceptions.
oh, they're
Like
not getting tips right now.
right.
They're
Yeah.
because their zones are not confusing quarterbacks, so they're not getting
No.
like tip balls.
Mhm.
Um, they're not getting to the quarterback enough to have like dead ducks flutter to
Yeah.
into linebacker. Like I think the turnovers will hopefully come, but like it's just not right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if there's teams to not get turnovers against, it's the ones that you've played so far. There's going to come games later on in the season where
Right.
you need to like create turnovers.
Yeah. Baltimore Chargers. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I agree with
The
that.
Bengals, who are super turnover
Bengals.
prone,
Yeah.
like you need to be able to turn these guys over, or they're going to score a bunch of points on a defense that struggles with coverage, except for against the Bengals.
I know they're gonna probably play well against them again.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, it's a confounding defense.
It's a defense that plays really well against bad teams and the Bengals.
Who would think? Probably one of the best passing games in the league, and they can shut them down for some reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to go over our bets for the night
Oh yeah, yeah,
while we're
definitely.
here.
Yeah,
We both ended up tying, I believe. Yeah, we both picked the Browns to cover, which they had done before that last fumble recovery. Anyway,
I know.
it was.
Yeah.
I think it ended at +4.5
Yes.
or -4.5. So they were up 6 at the time. So
Yep.
they had that. We both bet the under. We would have lost money on that pretty handily because they were at the over. They had already hit the over when the fumble happened. I think we both specifically picked Brissett to go over just barely.
Yeah.
And he went over kind of comfortably. Ended with 220.
Yeah.
The first place we differed was the rushing over under 190. I said under, and you said over, and they ended at 171.
Barely.
So I'm up 1 at that one. We both picked over on Cooper for 60.
Yep.
We both picked under for sacks 3.5, which I guess would be. I put X's here, but that's actually right. They only sacked him once.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising. And then the next place we differed was turnovers over under 2.5. I picked over. There was only one turnover, and it was kind of a cheapie at the end of the game. So you got that one. So that means we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We each got 5 right. 5 of the 8. So not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know if we'd have made money or lost money if we'd actually put money down, but hey.
Hey.
We got more right than we got wrong.
And that's the key in betting, right? Being right, more right than wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to remember that. So we were 5 of 7. Is that? I think
5 of 8.
Oh, we did 8. Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, including like the game winner pick.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll join us next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday for the Atlanta game, and we'll make a few more.
Definitely not at 1 a.m.
Yes, definitely not. I think this will be, well, besides the Monday night game, I think this will be our only one after 1 o'clock.
You will need to find a partner for that one. I will be on my honeymoon.
Oh, nice. Very good.
So I just need to find someone to talk to about that game. I will be in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, it was a good game. Fun atmosphere. Night games are really fun at Brown Stadium. They do different kind of things. They turn the lights off, which is kind of cool.
I wish they had put more of a video of the intro. I wanted to see it. No one really filmed it today.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Just
the dog thing probably looked a lot better at night.
They did. I have to say the eyes glowed better. Like they weren't little pinpoints. They kind of glowed out a little bit. So that was kind of cool. The really cool one was late. It was the after the third quarter, they turned the lights off again, and this 12-year-old kid came out. I don't know if they showed it on the telecast or not.
They didn't.
And he was just shredding it on the guitar. It pumped up the crowd so much. Like he was really good. So they do a lot of cool things at night that you can't really do in the daytime. So it was a fun atmosphere. Steelers.
That was about the time that Kirk Herbstreit spent 5 minutes shitting on Brownie on.
I heard about that. Yeah. I guess he didn't understand the elf, but
no, neither of them did.
I'm guessing most people outside of Cleveland do not understand it.
No, they don't. And you know what? I don't care.
I don't care either. It's fucking awesome.
I mean, that's the field I voted for. So
yeah,
in the end, I was happy with the end result.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, overall it was a fun game. They took care of business like they were supposed to. We spoke about it in the preview. They needed to win. Beat bad teams. We also spoke how it's gonna not be easy. It was not easy.
No, the score the final score makes it look a little easier than it was.
Right.
I mean, 24-17 is not like a oh, they struggled the whole time. Like if you watched the second half, you saw who the better team was.
Right.
It was just
they were never able to put it away officially
because we are so jaded as a fan base.
Well, after last week,
nothing feels good until the clock hits 0.
God, the dreaded onside. Whoever thought we would fear the onside?
I wouldn't be shocked if we get hit with a surprise onside at some point this season, just because we can't cover it anyway.
Seriously, watch. We probably are better when we're not prepared for it. Oh yeah, but yeah, it was a fun game. They got the win. Now they're off about a week and a half here. Get some guys healthy.
And I get to watch Baker Mayfield on Sunday.
Hey, who are they playing?
Oh God,
Somebody gonna get killed by. Oh God.
No, it's just gonna be disgusting.
That defense is gonna kill him.
Apparently, hold on. I don't know. The Saints are favored on the road. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Oh, Matt Rule is not long for this league.
I wanted him to be gone last year, for the record.
Yeah, I think everybody. I think all Carolina Panther fans have.
No, the only reason he's still there is pride of the owner.
I bet.
Sign him to a 7-year contract.
Oof.
And he didn't want to fire him after 2.
Yeah.
So here we are.
He was the golden boy too during that off season. People were so excited for that hire, and look at that we're in now. Just like Hugh Jackson. That was the big signing in the sale. But not to get off course here.
We've gotten way off course.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna stay off course, the Bengals play. Who do they play? They play the Jets. It's the Jets' turn to go to the other part of the AFC North again because they have the weirdest schedule I've ever seen to start a season.
I think they play don't they play the
They play the entire AFC North in
the
weeks
first
1 through 4.
Yeah. So funny.
It's bizarre. And then the Ravens go to New England.
Interesting.
I don't think they'll struggle with that one, but you never know.
They have struggled with Miami.
We'll see. They didn't struggle with Miami, and then they did struggle with Miami.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Houston and Chicago. No.
Who's watching that?
I'm not even sure those fan bases are.
I know, right?
Man. I think that's the only. That's the only like truly. Well, New Orleans and Carolina has the potential to be truly terrible as well, but those 2 games are like the truly terrible games of the weekend.
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
For me,
it's always
for meme purposes. I think it would be hilarious if the Jets beat the Bengals, but
that would be funny. 0-3 and oh boy,
0-3 and staring at a short week against the Dolphins.
Oof. Oh, are they Thursday night next week?
Yes.
Oh boy. Yeah. The kind of nice thing about Thursday nights, you kind of sit back and kind of watch, especially if you're the winning team on Thursday night. But you kind of sit back and watch your rest of the division, kind of see how they're stacking up because you're not focused on the Browns. So that's a fun kind of little nugget of Thursday night football. I think they're 4-0 in the last 4 times they've been on Thursday night.
I think they've won every Thursday night game with Stefanski.
Yeah.
Which would be the
Bengals, Denver, I think.
The Bengals, Denver in this one.
Yeah.
And then the year before would have been 19. Who did they play on Thursday that year?
I can't remember that one.
I don't know. I've tried to block that season out of my brain.
Oh boy. That one died quickly.
That one was just horrific.
Yeah.
Their Thursday night the game that year was. Oh, it was that game. Okay, it was the helmet swing.
Oh, so they did win that year. Oh man,
It was that game.
boy, I was just watching the end of that game. I was like, don't have anything bad. Don't have anything bad. Score this touchdown and just get off the field.
2018, they beat the Jets on Thursday night, so they've won their last 5 Thursday night games.
Wow.
The NFL put sympathy on NFL Network in 2017. Didn't give them a Thursday night game that year. Their last loss was 28-7 to the Ravens in 2016.
Oof.
So they've won their last 5 on Thursday night.
Yeah, and that was a good year for something else, so we'll be fine on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a win, and they're 2-1 headed into Atlanta next week. We'll be back.
I think one last thing. I think I saw a stat before the game started that since he took over, Stefanski is 11-3 after losses. So this is now 12-3.
Oh, that's a good stat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of shows shows the leadership. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of him kind of during the game last week. I thought it was kind of impressive how he kind of stayed even keeled. He was obviously pissed through his headset, but almost immediately after the game, he was like, I think he told Jacoby, I think it was, just like kind of, hey,
we're gonna get in there, we're gonna own it.
Yep, put this behind us and kind of let's move on. Yeah, I thought that was really impressive, kind of seeing the behind the scenes situation, because on TV you kind of just see him like still and not making any kind of noise on it, but yeah, it's kind of nice just having a coach that's not going to be too crazy, kind of level-headed. He's never up, never too down, so and it shows with that record that you told that we're saying.
Yeah, he never lets the team dwell on things.
Yeah.
And you know, they're not going to probably dwell on this win for too long, because there's a lot of things that still can be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
With 2 of the 3 phases of the ball right now, the offense can just keep getting better, but the other 2 phases of the ball still have things that they need to address so that they don't lose another game in horrific fashion.
You never know with the Browns, but yeah. So thanks for joining us, everybody. If you are, it's 1:30, almost 1:30.
Thanks for joining us on Friday morning.
Friday morning. This is the post game show of the Thursday night game. Yeah, thanks for joining us. It was a fun game. 2-1. Browns move on to Atlanta next week. We'll be back around Wednesday or Thursday for a preview, and yeah. This is another WFNY BrownsCast, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network, and go Browns.
Good night.
Good night.